The cleanup is continuing this morning after wild thunderstorms hit parts of New South Wales and Queensland over the weekend with damaging winds and heavy rain. Miles Holbrook Walker's in Sydney, Alex Brewster's in Brizzy. Good morning, gents. Firstly to you, Miles. How bad has the damage been there?
Well, Michael, you can take a look for yourself just to see how bad the damage is. I'm here in Woollahra in Sydney's eastern suburbs, and right here a car just completely annihilated by a falling tree. And it doesn't stop there. If you just continue to wander down this street, not only do you see all this debris strewn over, but you can also see another hatchback there under another tree there that's fallen through. I spoke to one neighbour who didn't want to be on camera, but she basically described it like being a tornado system that just ripped through this park here and just upended heaps of trees in the area. The cleanup effort very much something that is still underway here. Right across the city, we saw about 200 calls for help and assistance from the State Emergency Service, along with police also working to rescue one family from a car. Thankfully, there was no injuries to them as there was surge flooding in Double Bay, the neighbouring suburb to here in Woollahra. There was only about 23 millimetres of rain that fell, but it just came through so thick and fast with significant wind gusts. And it wasn't just uprooted trees, it was also uprooted travel plans. We saw train lines delayed for several hours in Sydney City, as well as Sydney Airport have to not only cancel but also push back several flights across yesterday afternoon and right into the evening, causing chaos of another kind there, I should note too. Now, while the cleanup effort still needs to occur here, by and large there were fewer calls overnight, and as you can probably tell from where I am, the weather has abated, at least for now. The SES is warning that there is more rain to come in the middle of the week, and so for people to be mindful that there could be significant storms later on around Wednesday or Thursday, particularly in some of the regional parts of New South Wales as pressure system comes over from the west of the state. So all these things considered, people still need to be mindful, and if there is wild weather or indeed if there are flooded roads, forget it. Don't even try crossing. It's not safe, and it's certainly not worth endangering your own personal safety, Michael.
Always great advice to get through. Let's go to you, Alex. Take us through what's happened over the weekend in Queensland.
Well, Michael, it might be hard to imagine given the brilliant sunlight we've got on offer here in Brisbane, but if I'd been standing here at about 2 o'clock yesterday, I would have had water up to my chest, and that's because we saw 50 millimetres of rain fall in parts of the CBD in just 30 minutes. Some areas caught more than 70 in an hour, and we saw similar totals on the Gold Coast over 4 hours. Further into the southwest, in the scenic rim in the Springbrook National Park, we saw more than 250 millimetres fall in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. on Sunday. As a result, we saw 70 call-outs for help from the SES, including several swiftwater rescues. We didn't see any injuries though, thankfully. We were spared from most of the major damage that we've heard about in Sydney. We have seen dozens of cars inundated, including close to where I am now in a car park, but again, no injuries there. Now, we did see that the authorities are warning that this is going to be a really severe disaster season, and that's because it's been an unusually wet November. Catchments are already soaked, and as a result, any sustained heavy rainfall like what we saw yesterday is just going to sit on top, and that's going to cause more flash flooding.